The way we do this is we'll probably have somebody just with the job of making little cob blobs, and we want to make sure that there's a little bit of straw, there's clay and sand, but there's not too much of any one material. The other people are going to be taking these balls of cob, and you're going to be starting to add it to the bench. We want to make sure to keep this up above the rocks, and we're going to leave a little perimeter and leave these rocks exposed. We're going to focus on one area at a time, and we're going to use our fingers to push it in. So we're just going to go around the edges, okay? This is kind of like a skin that's going to go around the line, and the skin always needs to be about 1 inch thick. So this is a juice box filled with trash. We're going to use cob. We're going to add it here. We're going to put this tire here, and then we're going to add this cob with these cartons, and we're going to use the cob inside the tire, and we're going to stack these cartons around, and we're going to fill all this trash inside the tire, and then we're going to cover this with cob. We're also going to use these here, stacking up alongside, and use the cob as a natural cement to attach it to the bench. One thing to remember is this cob, it's always got to be at least 1 inch thick. Do you know how to do 1 inch? Everyone go like this. 2 fingers, that's about 1 inch. When we're adding these cartons, we want to put a little bit of cob on the bottom, and then we're going to add the cartons like this. Then we're going to use the cob, and we're going to go all the way around the carton. It's very important that we're going to create a matrix of cob around the entire carton, kind of like laying bricks. And we're going to do one whole layer of the cartons here, and we're going to put cob all the way around it. We're going to have some cob here, some cob on the back. I'm going to be mostly focused on the tire, and some people are going to help me do that. Others of us, we're going to be using all these cartons, and we're going to be filling them in to the base here. Inside this tire, there's actually 9 of these cartons filled inside this tire, completely cobbed in, a matrix formed all the way around and on top. So this is another way to create mass for your structure, is using a tire, cobbing in bottle bricks and maybe even other pieces of trash that are really large, and it's another way to seal trash into your earth bench.
What's that for?
When you attach the bamboo pieces together, make sure it's going to be in a place, ideally in the middle of your bottle, that's going to allow you to cinch this down with wire or with zip ties. The bamboo pulls together. I'm going to add an extra piece of bamboo on both sides and then cinch it. This will prevent them from falling out when we're doing our cobbing the back. This now would be ready to cob over. For this project, we're actually going to be adding some tiles and mosaic that are going to be done onto a cement board. And the reason we do this is we can then thin set and grout in the tiles, attach this to the back of the bench, and those tiles won't be compromised, and we can just natural plaster around it. It's kind of a fusion of 2 different styles of materials together. So in order to be able to attach this to the back of the bench, we want to use some gauged wire. We're going to drill this in here, and then using a masonry drill holes into the cement board, and then attach this to the back. Flagstone seating is really great because it provides a more durable seat for the bench. You can see we have these cement boards that we drilled holes into and attached to the bench, and then came back later and grouted on these tiles. We'll then plaster these in. This is a really great way, instead of doing a mosaic into your plaster, to instead grout it onto a cement board and then sink it into the bench. Here you can see we added a truth window with a wooden frame and the bottles. We'll write a message on the bottles and then put this plexiglass onto the wooden frame, and that will serve as our truth window. Now the whole bench is pretty much ready to go. The last step is how to plaster.